Hola, and welcome to episode 111 of Word to Your Mama, the final episode of 2022. Word to Your Mama is a podcast about the life of a Latina mama and the lives of my amazing multicultural tribe. A celebration of shared experiences navigating this dynamic world. There will be special guests, mad laughs, and absolutely no BS. Nah, B is our motto. Segments by the supernatural bear. That's my little man. He's 10 going on 40. But other than that, this podcast will be explicit. Please believe it. Now, why do I have a wide range of amazing peeps from the music, art, and now Web3 worlds? Is because I come from that. But this episode is a little different. This is one of the rare kind of solo episodes because it is the last of 2022. And what a year it has been, right? Am I right, folks? Am I right? So let's start off with for the podcast itself. This year, I'm fortunate enough to join the Latina Podcasters network, hence all the new promos. And I think I mentioned it in one of the other solo episodes, maybe for the 2-year Annie. But, when I started this is my third podcast, but when I started this, I was like, this is going to be something different. It's going to change and turn into something different. And I definitely want to one day have actual paid promos, right? From other companies that I feel like, align with in some way. So I always put, promos mid-roll, like in the middle or pre or post, of my friend's stuff or whoever was on, and stuff for my own businesses or any other businesses, because I was like, I'm going to put it there. If I build it, they will come. But fortunately, Rita Bautista, she's the founder of the Latina Podcasters network. She was like, let's all do this together. And it has been amazing. If you guys have noticed, especially the last couple of episodes, it was a mad promo, but really big entities that, are really thriving and enjoying, hiring Latina Podcasters Network so they can pick and choose and get a bunch. Instead of one big podcast, they can get a group of highly targeted shows that, we might not yet have the biggest listenership, but the people that do listen, they know that they're hardcore. So if you want to learn more about Rita Bautista's amazing journey, how she started Latina Podcasters Network, then you can listen to episode 72. I'm going to have a link to that. And then in general, as you've heard here throughout, because I have the regular episodes with special guests, we have monthly the Nerd Outs, and we have monthly the Relatives. Then you hear little, bits and pieces that you could thread together what's been happening in my life. And then especially now the different types of guests that we're having. So in general, this year I ventured into the Web3 space with Hola Metaverso. You hear me talk about it. You can listen to 2 special episodes this year, episode 74, which was me, Ozzy, and Tamaron. We record about a month out to the very first event, Hola Metaverso LA, which was in April 30th. And that, Hola Metaverso is, in real life and online educational and community Web3 building events, right? So you got that one. So episode 74, it's a month before the event. Hopes and dreams, how we got started, because that story is very unique. Twitter Spaces has a lot to do with it. I mean, look at where we're at now with Twitter, right? Am I right? And then you can go to episode 81 where we wrap up. It's post-event, and we wrap up how that experience was. I get a little teary-eyed because of the comments from attendees, and so we knew we're on the right path, doing what we're doing in Web3. I mean, let's be real. As of the time of this recording, it's December 20th. the stuff happening that went down with FTX, if you saw any of that stuff, I'm sure if you see any news, you follow any news, you saw that. Number 45 and his ridiculousness, and just stuff that's happening. If you were already not with the program, that probably didn't bode well for you to have confidence to continue or even enter the space. But we are still here. The reason we talk about why we're even in this space is to help our communities and other marginalized communities. So, after the LA event, we've done workshops, meetups, and then a second event in Bogota, Colombia. That experience has been amazing, and we will continue to do more things, which means, the amazing people that I've met in that space that have interesting, amazing stories, they will be on. Like this year, we had Elizabeth, who is a lawyer, an attorney in the Web3 space. And in 2023, we'll definitely have more Web3 people sprinkled throughout, for sure. And then this year, I also popped my cherry, if you will, with our 100th episode with Sonia Valencia, the over 40 OG beauty skin queen. She is the first time in the 2 years that I've had someone on here that I didn't know directly or didn't, meet ahead of time through a mutual friend or something like that. This is the first time that I've had someone that I consider to be part of my tribe, but I don't know them, because her journey, when the pandemic was full blown, just started, and I got into the crazy world of the TikTok, aka TikTok, I saw her rise, and she was someone that I could relate to because she was over 40 and she was, doing skincare and makeup, and she's just like cussing up a storm and just being like, look, like J-Lo sent her stuff. She's like giving the real review. Like, I ain't down with this shit. And I was like, yes, this is someone. And she's just funny and she keeps it real. And so, a good friend that's been on the podcast twice was like, why don't you read? Do you know her? Like, do you follow her? You should have her in your podcast. And I was like, well, she's big now, She probably has an agent. I saw that she moved to LA. Like, she got that big where she, made moves. But I asked her and she said yes. So I have her on and she graced us for the 100th episode. So yeah, so that will have a link to that. And then this year we went full blown with having a nerd out, the nerd out episodes once a month. That's me and the amazing Lisa T.I. Jenkins. I'll have a link to all of the nerd out episodes. And basically that's a podcast that we had already before, that we did whenever we could. We had it for mad years. And it was just, we didn't take it serious. We took it serious, but we didn't take it that serious where we're like, every week, and we just, with life happened, it happened, but it was more of an outlet for Lisa, T.I. and I to just talk about things we are currently nerding out on. Like everyone nerds out about something, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a nerd to nerd out about something, I always bring up the examples of like, people in certain communities, say like cholos, for instance, or people that are in car clubs, they'll nerd out about paint color. Am I right? Like, this is such and such candy apple red with the da-da-da-da-da. Or, they'll definitely nerd out about cars and they'll know everything there is to know about that one thing that they love, which also includes TV, movies, books, music, all that stuff. So once a month now, it's on Word to Your Mama, and we go through all that stuff. And it's great because I get a chance to stay in contact with her and we get to see what we're watching. And of course, it's like anything Marvel, anything Star Wars universe, and then above and beyond. And we agree on some things, but there's a lot of things we disagree on. And I think that's the fun of it, to get the different perspectives on, books, TV shows, movies, all that stuff. And then, stronger than ever, we relatives once a month. And that's me and Nyysha and, two girls, me, first generation Mexicana, her, she's Black, and two girls growing up in the 80s, 2 exits away from the border in San Diego. And we go through our history, and you can follow these crazy movie type moments that everyone was like, you guys have this crazy story. And I do that once a month. But we also discuss trauma and, just living life like where we're at now, but also looking back and seeing things differently from each other's perspectives as we share these crazy stories, like me getting jumped. There's a lot of me getting jumped for some reason because that's just the host carrier. So you can listen to those episodes. Have a link to that. And so what do we have in store for 2023? Well, we have amazing guests, that's for sure. I'm thinking of maybe doing a newsletter. Not crazy. I'm not going to bombard your inbox, kids. I think once a month, so that you kind of see what episodes went down that month. And then I would like to also share what any news from our amazing guests. Because, we had, over the past 2 years, we've had some guests that have done some crazy things, win Academy Awards, win Emmys, win other types of awards. Excuse me, all this impact and or selling new things. Like we had two, Kano and Sket. They had unruly releases this year, just recently. One Optimus Prime and one Bumblebee. Like this is licensed stuff in their own style, like dope shit. So, I want to make sure that our community is thriving and is kept abreast of everything that's happening. Also, I've been not forced to, but it's come to my attention that it is time. And I'm going to have, I plan to have a dedicated TikTok page, aka TikTok page, just for Word to Your Mama. Right now it's Ritzy Periwinkle, and I just do all the things that I like. I have a little thing that I stopped doing just because I got super busy, but it was like Tales from the 1900s. And it was just like tapes, 8-tracks, like things that we had to do, maps to go to parties, stuff like that. But this is going to be a dedicated Word to Your Mama podcast TikTok page. So look for that. And also, let's see. Oh, I'll have a link to this episode as well. But if you listen back in 2021, it's episode 20. It's called Ritzy P, The Past and Mental Health, which I also played again in May because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm working on a special episode where I break down something that wrapped up that I speak about in that episode, because in that episode, it was rough, rugged, and raw. It still surprises me that I pressed, submit so that it goes out to all the different outlets and people could hear it, because the feedback has been phenomenal on this episode. Because like I said, I'll just rough, rugged, and raw. It was immediately after an emergency therapy session, because I was only going once a month, but something went down. You hear a little bit of what happened, and I don't go into it in depth, and I don't even mention exactly what it is. But on last week's episode of The Relatives, I talk about what it is. And basically, the gist is I met my biological father for the first time ever. Well, not ever, since I was a baby, I guess. And it was a lot of work, guys. It was a lot of work. And that's kind of what some of the stuff that happened and why I had to have that, session with my therapist back in 2021. And now we've come full circle and we're at another place because of all the work, the healing and all the crazy work that I've done and what just transpired. So I'm planning on a special episode where I discuss with whatever I feel comfortable at the time, but I feel like it will help people, right? And I'm thinking I want to possibly get a therapist on to kind of talk about, because I got to have my therapist, right? That's like unethical, I believe. Like her and I had a discussion. And so I think I want to have another therapist on to kind of like navigate and give some insight on that end to the work and what other people can do if they're dealing with something similar. So that's a special episode that it will happen at some point in 2023 for sure. But yeah, just continue to have amazing guests. I have a list of people that I've asked already or I am going to ask that maybe said yes a year ago and, you know, want to make sure that they're still on board. And then, you know, always relatives, the nerd out once a month when possible. And then, yeah, I just want to say muchísimas gracias to all of our listeners, our Patreon patrons. They support in so many ways, but especially with their ongoing monetary support because, you know, it helps because a lot of work goes into this. And I do it because I want diverse voices to have a platform to, to be able to share their stories because I feel I'm doing this for that. And because, you know, like my friend Kim helped me to realize there's the universal and the specific. Like my story, especially if you heard the legend of Don Antonio, like I've never heard anyone talk about hanging out with the man that lived in the dirt under a building. I mean, probably, but I mean, I live in the States and that was in Tijuana. So like, you know, but there's something about that in that specificity of that unique story that people can relate or thought that was funny or interesting or, you know, this and that. So, yeah. So that's why I do this. So I really appreciate the support from everyone, the listeners, the Patreon patrons, the sponsors, those that, you know, share. I mean, the free support is the best support as well because you can, you know, help get the listenership up in an organic way where people discover this and then they like it and then they want to listen to more. And then maybe certain episodes aren't their cup of tea, but maybe certain ones are. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know, because you could tell your folks, tell your peeps, tell your friends, and it's always a good thing. So muchísimas gracias for that. I want to send a special thank you to Lisa T.I. Jenkins. Quality Caucasian, don't let the name fool you. And, you know, she does the nerd out with me. She's been doing the nerd out with me. We didn't do a couple of months this year just because she had COVID. We discussed it this couple of weeks ago. And yeah, she's super busy, but she makes time when possible to do the nerd out and have all those discussions and hang tough with having the nerd out. Because please believe it, when we were doing it and that wasn't on Word to Your Mama, there would be long pauses. Like we were just like, meh, meh, meh. But anyways, thank you, T.I. Much love to you. And then also I want to thank my relative, Nyysha. You know, it's been every year that we do this, it's been fantastic to get to explore the past while also discussing the present. You know what I mean? And the growth and the good times and the mistakes and the learning that we've done and the healing and all that stuff. And, you know, we're still planning in next year and the next to celebrate our 50th birthdays. So I'll have a link in the show notes if you want to help us out with that for us to go to Africa for her roots for the 50th. And then I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go. Probably, I'm sure somewhere in Mexico. So yeah, we'll have a link to that. And then last but not least, I'd like to thank the supernatural bear, my little mans. because he's a trooper. He adds so much to this experience because, we get to talk about, sometimes I don't even know what he does for the Supernatural Bear Corners. And then I get to hear his thoughts and his perspectives. And editing, I hear how his voice changes, growing like a weed. So, muchísimas gracias to the Supernatural Bear, my little man. Thank you for everything. I love you so much. And I am the luckiest mama bear in the world. Okay, so that's it for me on this section. Let's go to a special Supernatural Bear Corner where he did mention he might go over the Transformers Rise of the Beast trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen it. We saw it immediately when it came out. It was supposed to come out at 9 o'clock PST. It came out at 9:14. As he reminds me, he's watched it many times. Watch it at slower speeds to try to get little nuggets. So I think that's what he's going to do in the Supernatural Bear Corner. And then, stay tuned for a quick outro and that'll wrap it up for 2022. So let's get into this.
This song goes out to all the people who love yams. Hit it!
Can I get to the yams? Sweet yams. Show me the way, 'cause I got bills to pay.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Many of us have heard of the devastating passing of Hurricane Fiona through Puerto Rico, but not many of us know of ways, or better yet, trustworthy ways to help and contribute to those in need. Fiona a través de los ojos de los niños is an NFT project featuring art made by children of the nonprofit school Flor de Loto in Ponce, Puerto Rico. Through their drawings, they've expressed their feelings and fears which they went through the hurricane. You can help these children, their school, families, and communities by minting one of their NFTs at helppr.xyz. You can also help by sending crypto directly to their wallet listed on the website, or do a donation through PayPal. The links can be found in the description. And to learn more about this initiative and how you can help, please visit helppr.xyz or via Twitter at helpprflm.
Ayuda a tus hijos y estudiantes a llegar más lejos. Aprende más sobre la beca nacional Hacer de McDonald's. Desde 1985, McDonald's ha otorgado más de $33 millones en becas. Gánate una beca de hasta $100,000. McDonald's está dando $500,000 en becas este año. Puedes ganar una de 30 becas. Hoy día, es importante seguir adelante y hacer más. A ayudar a estudiantes hispanos a hacer más que las generaciones anteriores. Hacer más de lo que se creen capaz. Hacer más de lo que pensaban que era posible. Por sí mismos, por su gente, por su cultura, por un mejor futuro. Para más información sobre la beca nacional Hacer de McDonald's, visita mcdonalds.com/hacer. Aprende más.
Festivals, football, flannels. Some say fall is their favorite time of year. And this fall, there are now updated COVID-19 booster shots designed to help protect against COVID-19 variants. If you've had your primary series, schedule an updated COVID-19 booster shot appointment as soon as you're eligible. And don't forget to enjoy the foliage. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Chances are you aren't sharing an epic dinner with your friends right now, but you could be. Just book a seat at a private dining event with your Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Then get to it. A multi-course menu, insane flavors, a wine pairing. Ooh, is that crispy duck? Experience more unforgettable dinners with private dining events from Sapphire Reserve. Chase, make more of what's yours. Learn more at chase.com/Sapphire Reserve.
Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Holiday season is upon us. With being Latina and the supernatural bear being multicultural, it is that time of year to see all kinds of family. Those that are blood related and those, as a supernatural bear calls it, heart related. How cute is that? Whether we stay in town or travel, we'll most definitely be breaking bread with familia. Holidays can be magical like that. They can bring us all together to create those special moments and memories, usually involving food. And you don't need much. It can be at the family carne asada, the family BBQ, or that traditional family holiday meal. All that matters is that we're together. All that matters is that you're together. The holidays always find a way. Enjoy the real magic of the season by surrounding yourself with good friends and family, delicious food, and of course, ice cold Coke. Coca-Cola pairs perfectly with every holiday get-together. And now, introducing
The Supernatural Bear Corner.
Supernatural Bear.
Hello, everyone. It's the Supernatural Bear here, and we're back again for the last episode of the year, I think? I'm not sure. I'm very tired right now. So, for all of you Transformers fans, which is probably, like, one of you, because no one cares about Transformers anymore, unfortunately. The trailer for Transformers Rise of the Beasts came out 2 weeks ago, and I have watched this to death, so I guess trailer reaction time. Not trailer reaction, trailer breakdown. So I will be watching this in 0.05 speed. So you can, I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm just going along with this, so yeah, let's do this for that one Transformers fan in the audience, or more likely myself, because I'm not even in the audience. I'm probably that one Transformers fan. Anyway, so it starts off with a clip of Mirage transforming and Noah coming out of the car. So something instantly that we can see while Mirage is transforming is that he opens his door for Noah so that way he doesn't get squished and squashed and poked and stabbed during the quite complex but still simple compared to the Bayformers transformation, which human could probably get stuck in, because we don't know. No one's gotten stuck because it's PG-13, not rated R. So yeah, it starts off with that scene, and as Mirage transforms, Noah jumps out, and then Mirage continues transforming. And then he does a little maneuver similar to that of Thrash from the Transformers Earthspark show. By the way, if you do not want to listen to this portion, which I'm pretty sure you won't want to listen to me blabber on about plastic, feel free to skip. I will not feel bad at all. So Mirage transforms. That's pretty much, yeah, it's just that. So I'm gonna skip, and I have a Chrome tab up right now, which shows the trailer. So once we get to Has Awakened, Optimus Primal will jump from some higher rocks, and there's pretty much nothing to really say for this right now because it's just Optimus Primal jumping from some rocks. However, something that I did pick up was that when Noah and that other character whose name I forgot, wow, SNB forgetting the name of a character in Transformers. Yeah, laugh at me all you want, bud. So the characters, since the water's CGI, and obviously you can't throw a bucket of water onto a character, or at least I don't think you can, the characters don't get wet from the water that's splashed. It just goes over them, or sometimes even through them. And then that's the end of that. So, moving on. Optimus jumps from somewhere, and he has a different design. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Not one bit. They should have really just kept the Bumblebee one. So, yeah, they really should have just kept the Bumblebee CGI model for Prime instead of this monstrosity. So he jumps from the rocks, says, "Stand down!" That's my best Optimus Prime impression. Don't bully in the comments, please. So after that, Optimus pulls his not handheld gun that transforms out of his arm, weapon-ish kind of thing. I don't know. And after that, Optimus Primal, Monkey, not Truck, says, "I'm not the one to fear, Prime," which is very suspicious. And as you can also see, the CGI is not that polished yet. So for anyone, that one Transformers fan being me, that's just like, the CGI is so terrible. To that, just say, it's not polished yet. It's not polished. There's still 6 to 7 months until the movie releases. This releases on June or July. I forgot. But there's still a lot of time to improve, and I'm pretty sure that the team will, in fact, improve. Alright, so after that, Optimus lowers his gun, which transforms into his hand, and oh my god, oh boy, oh gee, he has a face. He has a face. Why? Nothing but why? Just why? Why does he have a face? That's not right. That's not natural. That wasn't made for this head design. So, Skydance Films, Paramount, blah, blah, blah. And then we have a bridge in Brooklyn, I think. And there's some lightning in the background. And the bridge, some of the lights on the bridge go out. Yes, they go out on the bridge, because of course they do. Which could be because the Terracons crash land on Earth, and we know that Scourge, the big bad, has some electric-based powers due to a later scene in the trailer. And then it cuts to a scene of Optimus going through that, going somewhere, we don't know yet. Then cuts to a shot of the main man himself, Bumblebee, transforming. And then we cut to a shot of Noah, our main human protagonist, in Mirage, our supposed main Autobot protagonist. And there is a very nice little reference from 2007, where essentially he is on the steering wheel, and it's a close-up shot of the steering wheel that has an on the center of the steering wheel, instead of the logo of the brand of the car, it's instead a Autobot symbol, and his hand goes kind of like it goes not through, but like I don't know how to word this correctly. You could probably watch the trailer for yourself. It's by Paramount on YouTube. It's that easy. And then we cut to a scene of Mirage getting chased by the police. And Mirage, he's driving himself. And since he's going backwards, the police officer tries to pull a maneuver on him to get him to stop. Like a really, really old person maneuver. The police officer. So what Mirage does is use the power of transformation, and he essentially just transforms forward, I guess. I do not have the words for this right now-ish. And puts Noah in the backseat instead of the driver's seat, because obviously in the driver's seat it's much more dangerous than in the backseat, and also transformation stuff. So then Mirage uses a very, very beautiful, glorious G1 technique where he uses holograms to trick enemies. Ooh. And then turns out there are 4 holograms that he creates. 2 in the back of him and 2 in front of him. And the middle one is the one that we all thought we were following. But turns out that's probably one of the ones on the sides, because the front one, the front car, not the front car, the middle car, it just goes out of existence, and then the police officer crashes his car this summer, and then has a shot of Bumblebee and Cheetor, our main Kid Appeal characters, I think, running in a desert, I'm not sure, but somewhere in Peru. And then it cuts to a shot of AirRaiser. And AirRaiser is just doing her thing, blowing up a bridge with fire breathing. Ah! Yeah, it's quite. Also, most of the rest of this is in Peru, I think. And then cuts to a shot of Mirage on a mountain where 2 bots fall, one of them being Optimus Prime and the other one being Scourge, with Nightbird in pursuit, both in their vehicle modes. And then Battletrap, who is a a tow truck. Yeah, a tow truck. He is the form of a tow truck, and he shoots a missile out of his engine. So that's something new. And it goes past RC, who has wheels for legs, I guess. Don't ask me. Ask Stephen Cable Jr. Clinging on with one hand to Wheeljack in his Ultra mode, which is more along the lines of Ironhide, but in Wheeljacky colors. And then it cuts to something that says is primal. Of all the threats, Optimus Primal says of all the threats. It cuts to a scene of Optimus looking up at Scourge, while Bumblebee charges in to try and save Optimus, and whoop, Scourge knew about it this entire time! He knew about it this entire time! And then he gets the chance to stab Bumblebee! Yes, I hope he dies. I genuinely hope he dies, because he's been getting too much of a spotlight. Other bots just can't compete. But we all know that he's not gonna die. And then Scourge uses his aforementioned lightning abilities, and then Bumblebee's body goes limp, which I hope he dies. In the next shot, it's the 2 human protagonists with Optimus, RC, Mirage, and Wheeljack all walking near a structure in Peru, with Bumblebee suspiciously absent. I hope he's dead again. Then cuts to a scene of Rhinox about to breathe some fire too. He's a rhino, if you couldn't tell. Optimus Prime transforming, another reference to the live-action movie franchise before it, the 2007 movie specifically. And then a scene of Scourge, Nightbird, and Battletrap crash landing on Earth. And then we got Optimus, who is about to engage in battle. Ooh, he's about to engage in battle with someone, I think. He brings his gun out, and then it cuts to a shot of his disgusting face. Ah! And then he puts his mask on, and then says, "Let them come." I don't know. That was that voice. And then it cuts to a big final battle. I won't go into too much detail about that yet, because it's probably the best part of the entire trailer. And then after a little bit of the final battle scene from the trailer, it cuts to the standard Transformers thing in front of a black background. So that's pretty much breakdown of the trailer. This was not how I thought it was going to be, but in terms of how I was going to explain this, it's much more boring than I thought it would be. Probably, at least. But if you enjoyed, probably didn't, please feel free to, just thank you for supporting this podcast so much in the past 2 years. Wow, it's been 2 years. When the podcast started, I was 8, now I'm 10, and, thank you guys so much for sticking around for so long, and for anyone new, thank you so much as well. So, anyways, with that said, I'll see everyone in 2022. Peace!
Shibidoo! Yeah! There you have it, folks. Final episode of Word to Your Mama, episode 111. If you skipped the promos, let me let you know that you missed a nugget. Last night, the Supernatural Bear and I did a cover of the first verse of Sweet Yams by Fetty Wap and Masego. So please, go back. It's the first promo after the little promo sound thing that goes on that promos are coming. And then it's just the first couple of seconds of the song. It's hilarious. It's this SNB and Ritzy P cover, Sweet Yams. And if all goes well, we'll do a short little video of it, and put that on our YouTube page. But yeah, I didn't know that the Supernatural Bear was going to do a full-blown reaction video to the entire thing. But it's the last episode of the year, and my little man contributes so much, so he could do whatever. He could do whatever this time. And if all goes well, we will, maybe listen to that part, queue up on another window, or, if you're listening to it on your phone or you're listening to it on your laptop, queue up another window and put the trailer on, and then maybe it'll sync. I don't know. But if there's time, that he'll do a video, so it's video on video and you can see what he's talking about. But yes, it's amazing that, we introduced him to Transformers via the OG classic movie. And now he has surpassed us. I think I mentioned before, on Sundays he takes Transformer class that we pay for him. Because he's talking to us all the time. Like, we're kept abreast of that stuff, which is amazing. So yeah, when that trailer came out, we waited and waited. He'll tell you that it was supposed to come out at 9:00 PST. It came out at 9:14. He's watched it at 0.025 speed, so he could catch little nuggets. I mean, last year we went to TF Con in Burbank. We're going to go again next year. It's serious business. So, yeah. So there we have it. Let's see. I just want to, again, just say thank you for the support. And, we do this with your guys' help, for sure. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Feliz Año Nuevo, Happy New Year, and we'll hopefully see you in 2023. And as always, we reap. Word to Your Mama is owned and produced by Ritzy P. Intro beat produced by Nico Beats. If you want to know more, you want to email us, you want to get the media kit, go head over to wordtoyourmama.com. Word to Your Mama is now part of the Latina Podcasters Network. And as always, Word to Your Mama is brought to you by RitzyPeriwinkle.com.